Teams have to buzz in and identify the tunes being performed live in the studio. Tonight, your songs are being played on the Hammond B3 organ by Tim Neal.
Yay!
Hello, sir. Song one, please, Tim. Yes, it is. Desperado by the Eagles. All right, next song, please, Tim. Smith.
No Woman, No Cry.
No Woman, No Cry. Bob Marley. Yes, it is, Smith. Next song, please, Tim. Yes.
Oh. Piano Man.
Piano Man, Billy Joel, yes. Next song, please. Yes.
I Can't Stand the Rain.
Yes, it is, by Ann Peebles, covered by many people. And final song, please. Yes?
Georgia.
Denise Scott, yes!
You rule.
I know, it was worth spending the night with Tim and his organ last night.
Gentlemen, Tim Neal and the Hammond B3 organ. At the end of that round, the scores are Alan, John, Denise have caught up to 7 points, 2 behind Miff, Max, Danny, 9 points. Each team will be given 3 artists and 3 interesting facts. You have to match the artist to the fact. Miff, Max and Danny, your artists are flamboyant crocodile rocker Elton John, the man that made the mullet sexy, Rod Stewart, and middle-of-the-roader Peter Frampton. You have to match them to the bands they almost fronted, which are the Rolling Stones, the Kinks and the Spencer Davis Group. Elton John, Rod Stewart, Peter Frampton almost fronted which of those bands?
Rock and Rod could pretty much front, well, any of them because he's just awesome.
Have you ever
That's
heard?
my personal taste.
Have you ever heard of the Spencer Davis
No, I've
group?
never heard of them.
I think one of their massive hits was Gimme Some Lovin'. Gimme some lovin'.
Right. I did a gig at the British Embassy recently in Paris, and I had my own footman for the weekend, which was kind of, you know, a bit awkward. You go, no, would you like more swan on toast and stuff? And then I was asking him, because he'd had so many people in through the embassy, and I was constantly, I want to know. I said, what was Diana like? He's very diplomatic, so she was a lovely lady. I said, come on, you must have some scandal. I can't say anything, sir. And I said, come on, what was Bush like? He's a bit of an idiot, right? And he's going, no, I charming man, I can't say anything. And then I said, oh, come on, who was the worst person you've ever had at the embassy? Expecting him to be diplomatic, and he just leaned in and went, Elton John, sir. I think he's the Stones. I think it's quite a high-profile one. He went for the Stones. Yes. And I think Rod Stewart, he went for the
You
the
can't
Kinks.
tell by their haircuts if they're Scottish or not.
Yeah, well, actually, it's more the pale ginger skin colour that would indicate that Rod Stewart's from Scotland.
OK, so we've got Rod with the Kinks and Elton with the Rolling Stones. What do you think, Max?
Well, I'm inclined to think that Elton would have been with the Spencer Davis group. Just going on the name alone, it's far more arty and gay, isn't it?
The Kinks isn't a gay name?
All right, I can't remember what we got to. Rock and Rod with the Kinks. I'm going to go with you on that one. It's,
Elton with the Stones.
Elton with the Stones, because that sounds so ludicrous. I can't imagine that it could be true.
And Frampton?
Peter Frampton with the Spencer Davis Group.
You got one right.
Oh.
Elton John tried out for the Spencer Davis Group.
I was correct.
Max would have been correct there.
Yeah.
Rod Stewart did try out for a band that became the Kinks. And
I would have said that too.
Peter Frampton wanted to be a Rolling Stone. Alan, John, Denise,
Yep.
your stars are everlasting Aussie rockers AC/DC,
Yep.
reggae icon Bob Marley, and Paul McCartney's better half, John Lennon. You have to match them to the city that has a street named after them.
Okay.
New York City,
Yeah.
Madrid, and Liverpool.
Well, I think the Liverpool's trying to throw us off because
Yes.
immediately you would go John Lennon with Liverpool, but oh no. I believe John Lennon is with New York.
Yes, I do too.
Because I believe the street is quite near where he may have been killed.
Okay.
You
Now,
happy
see-
with that? I was about to
yes,
call
yeah,
you
yeah.
Tom. But that's going back.
My office.
Really? You always...
Yes. Is that right with you, Tom?
That's right. No, that's fine.
Did you get that a lot?
Occasionally. Not usually from people I know as well as Denise. Anyway.
All right.
For some reason, AC/DC in Madrid seem...
That's true, because...
That's AC Milan you're thinking of.
Oh, yeah.
yes, I agree with you. I think
So
it's
all we've got to
Madrid.
do now is match up Bob Marley for
Well-
Liverpool and why.
Well, Bob Marley was a huge soccer fan. And that would be one of the reasons that he would have a street named after him in Liverpool, where they're just mad for soccer.
For goodness sake, the reason is that they're the only two left. What else could it be?
So, you've gone AC/DC Madrid,
Yeah.
Bob Marley Liverpool,
Yeah.
and John Lennon New York City.
Yeah, that's what we're going with.
All right, I can tell you, you also got one right out of the three.
what?
The answers are AC/DC have Calle de AC/DC in Madrid.
Oh, okay.
John Lennon Drive is actually in Liverpool.
Oh, no, how
that's
can it be so
so-
obvious and yet right?
And Bob Marley Boulevard is actually in Brooklyn in New York City, and it looks like this.
I see what you've done there.
If you look very carefully, Michael Phelps is in the background. Now, out of all the bands that we mentioned there, John, you've actually seen the majority of those live in concert. Rolling
Quite a few,
Stones,
yeah.
Bob Marley, the Beatles you saw. That was one of your first concerts ever,
Yeah,
wasn't
the
it?
Beatles was the first real concert I ever went to, but the story behind that, it was that my mother was actually, she used to shop at S.E. Dickens in Ringwood, and they were actually giving away free tickets to the Beatles concert because they weren't selling. So Mum bought, you know, whatever the groceries were, and that entitled to enough for 2 tickets, and so my now wife and I went to see them.
You saw the Stones, though, as well, didn't you? The
I saw
Rolling
the
Stones,
Rolling
but in one of their
Stones
early
at the
tours.
Palais, yeah.
Right.
The Palais in St Kilda. So the funny thing about the concert was that Roy Orbison was the second billing on the concert, and he came on and did all those famous Roy Orbison songs, and then he'd finish and everybody in the audience, you know, would clap because they knew the Stones were going to come on next, and the applause was enormous. So Roy would come back out and do an encore. And everybody they put up with it for a couple of times, and then he'd go off, and then everybody would clap like mad. When he came back out the third time, people started booing.
There are certain bands that you want to see before you die, and to be able to say, I saw the Rolling Stones, Bob Dylan, Bob Marley, Roy Orbison, the Beatles.
Yeah, but I'm very old now, and I'm going to die a lot sooner than you, so, you know, I had to fit it in somewhere back
In
there.
years to come, no one's going to look back at me, and you know, when I'm in a nursing home and go, "Really, Grandad? You saw Robert Palmer, Huey Lewis and the News, and Dave Dobbin and the Herbs? Was it with the original Herbs?"
I just saw Nirvana back at Strathclyde University in Glasgow in 1993, and it was £3 to get in. So on the way in the stairwell, this student handed me a strange-looking cigarette, and I took a suck of this, and I ended up in a Nirvana concert. I don't remember anything other than throwing up in the toilet.